When growing up in England, how did you racism?
Not explicit racism, I don't think. Yeah, so not explicit racism, but there's definitely places where you feel like a minority. So I went to Oxford, and I was in my college, in my subject, I was the only girl and the only non-white person in my class. So like there are times, this is like not just for Sri Lankan Tamils, but for lots of people. You're like, hey, there's definitely spaces where I am the minority here.
Do you feel, are there any kinds of like affirmative action type schemes in England?
Not so much. I don't think people like the word positive discrimination or affirmative action there very much. There are definitely diversity schemes. I don't know how much it's more for show than it actually does stuff, though. Yeah.
So at Oxford, like how many other South Asian students were there?
There were a few. I don't really know how to count.
But
Yeah, there was a community of us that were there, for
did
sure.
it seem like it was like a corresponding community to how many students were in, or how many South Asian people are in England?
No, I don't think so. But I think that's the case for anyone who's not white in England. Yeah.
How about like how does it compare to here? Like do you notice any differences in how minorities are treated?
So this is something I've noticed. I don't know if it's true, but I've noticed that people are more separate in the US than they are in the UK. And I've heard that said by lots of people, but I still don't know if it's something that is only the case in the circles that I've been in. But you can tell here, like when you go into different neighborhoods, like what's the dominant ethnicity, whereas in London, like you can do that in some places, but you can also see that there's a bit more social cohesion, I think.
Do you notice that like in dating, for example?
Yeah. So I've noticed, like people have said to me, like if you use apps, for example, for dating, you can just tell that like most, you'll be like, okay, so it's only people who look like me who will swipe on me on these apps. Not only, but it tends to be the case. And like, yeah, but also there's also the thing about dating someone who's so foreign to your culture that it can be quite difficult. So it goes both ways, I guess. Yeah.
And how are South Asians like represented in England? Do you see a lot of representation?
No, this has been a big topic recently. Yeah, so it's often that you get the role of like, it's like as long as you fit the stereotype, you'll get the role. So you won't get the role because of, like, you want a character that has certain personalities because they have a certain job. Or I guess like with brown men, they're like you need someone to play the terrorist, right? So yeah, that's definitely a problem. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
What about when it comes? Okay, this is interesting. So this is okay. Do you ever feel in England? So obviously, like the South Asian community is a community that is discriminated against. But do you ever notice any discrimination from the South Asian community against other communities?
Oh yeah, like
Can you tell me more about that?
there's a lot of anti-blackness in the South Asian community. Also, there's a lot of like religious tension, like Hindus versus Muslims. Yeah, there's definitely a hierarchy imposed, and it's different hierarchies for different communities on like which culture they think are less than them or more than them and aspire to be. I've definitely noticed like amongst like a few communities, there's always like this idea that you have to be as white as possible, and as you go darker, it's like not as great. So yeah, there's a lot of problems within the South Asian community. So it's like it's a weird thing when you say that there's solidarity amongst a large group of people and there's so much tension between that group.
And then the last question: can you tell me a little bit about how Tamil people are treated like in that hierarchy?
So for me it's strange because I'm not Indian, so I'm actually Sri Lankan Tamil, so I feel like that comes with a different dynamic in that we often get grouped with Indians because we look Indian, but we have a very different like history, right? So yeah, like the way that lots of Tamils have come to the UK is very different from the way I don't know how lots of other brown people, but it's often because like lots of us have come as refugees. Not me particularly, because I was born there, but it tends to be that they've started from a different place. So it can cause some differences. I'm not really sure what the differences are, but I do know that we feel, yeah, it's a weird thing to get grouped with a community that you don't really feel part